Hello and welcome to Maths by SAS. This is my first lesson of exercise 4C, D1, chapter number 4, that is about the algebra. In this class, students, we will be learning and discussing advanced level question number 8, and question 8 says express each of the following as a fraction in its simplest form. These questions are really easy questions. Here the main point that you have to keep in your mind is that we have to write the given fraction in the simplest form, and in order to write the given fractions in their simplest form, we need to take the LCM. And for LCM, what is the important thing that we have to observe, that first of all we have to look at the denominators, and we have to see whether the denominators are composite numbers. If the denominators are composite numbers, then recall how to take the LCM, and if the denominators are prime numbers like 2, 3 and 5, they have no table common other than 1. Okay, so you should have the clear idea that in case of the prime numbers, how to take the LCM. If these two key points are clear to you, then these questions will not be difficult for my students. And the second important thing is that we should have good command on the rules of integers, that when a negative sign will be multiplied by the positive sign, what will be the answer, and when the negative sign is multiplied by the negative sign, what will be the answer. So keeping these points in the mind, let's begin today's class. If we look at the first question, let me compare the data with book. The first question is 5 into p minus q by 2 minus 2q minus p by 14 minus 2 into p plus q by 7. If we look at the denominators 2, 14 and 7, like 2 and 14, 14 can come in table of 2 and same 14 can come in table of 7. So in this case, how to take the LCM? We have to make the prime factorization, like by writing 2, 7 and 14, 2 ones are, 7s are and 2 7s are, and now 7 how many times is 7? 7 ones are. So the LCM is the product of common and non-common factors. So LCM will be 14. So what we are going to do is that first of all we have to draw the long line here, and we have to write the fraction, and then in the middle we have to write the LCM of this question, and the LCM of these three numbers is 14. And now recall that what we have to do, we have to go back to each fraction one by one and see what is the denominator of that fraction. Like here the denominator is 2, but the LCM is 14. So we have to see that 2 is how many times 14. So the first denominator or first fraction is deficient of 7. So that deficiency has to be multiplied with the numerator 7 times 5. This 5 was already there in the question, p minus q, and then minus, and then we can see that denominator is 14 and LCM as well is 14. So the middle fraction is not deficient of anything, or here we can multiply the numerators by 1, or we can write them as it is. But be careful, when there is a negative sign outside, we must have to put the bracket, because the negative sign which is outside, that must have to change the sign of all the terms inside the bracket. And moving to the last fraction, minus. Now look, the denominator of the fraction is 7, but the LCM is 14. So this fraction is deficient of what? 7 how many times is 14? 2 times. So I am going to multiply 2, and this 2 was already in the question, p plus q, and the dot stands for multiplication. Now look, this 7 is the number which we are multiplying this fraction to get 14, which is the LCM, and again this 2 is the number which we are multiplying this fraction to balance the LCM or to get the LCM. And now what we can do is that we have to first multiply these constants which are outside the bracket. Okay, let me draw the fraction line here. Look, the LCM must have to be written in the middle. Okay, 7 times 5 is 35. P minus Q minus 2 into Q minus P and minus 4 into P plus Q. Really easy questions. And now what we have to do is that we have to apply what distributive property, and what is the distributive property, students? Okay, let me first write the LCM here. And now what we have to do is that we have to multiply this number which is outside the bracket with every term inside the bracket. Same here, we have minus 1 or minus sign. This minus will be applied on all the terms inside the bracket, and same here what we are going to do, we have to multiply minus 4 with every term inside the bracket. I hope you are clear about this, and it's a time to open the bracket. 35p minus 35q, and now minus 2q, and look, when I will be multiplying this negative sign by negative sign, this will become positive, plus p, and then minus 4p and minus 4q. After this, you can see that the numerator is consisting of some terms having letter P and sometimes having letter Q. So, what we are going to do is we have to write down the like terms together for the simplification purpose. So, what we have to do is 14, this is 35p, 35p plus p and minus 4p, they are the like terms. 35p plus p minus 4p minus 35q minus 2q minus 4q. Okay. Now look, 35 p and p has the same sign, positive sign. So, what we are going to do is we are going to add them up. This will become 36 p minus 4p, and now look, 35 and 2 they have the same sign, negative sign. We are going to add them up. Rather all three have the same sign. Okay, 35 plus 2 37, 37 and 3 40 and 141, but let me write them as it is because I have not solved p terms yet. Minus 2q minus 4q by 14 divided by 14. Let me keep the page, let me slide the page so that my calculations can come under camera. Okay, now look, let me complete calculation at this place. 36 minus 4 is 32, 32p, and 35 and 2 37, 37 and 4, 7 and 4 is 11 and 1 minus 41 q upon 14. I hope you are clear about this question, and let us move to the second part. And first let me compare the data. If there is any problem with the sign or the value, I can correct it. Minus, this minus is with the complete fraction. 2a plus b by 3 minus 3 into a minus 3b by 2 minus 4 into a plus 2b by 5. Okay. Now look at the denominators first. we can see the denominators are 2, 3 and 5. They are prime numbers, they are not coming in same table. So, I simply have to multiply these all numbers. 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5, 5 3s are 15, 2s are 30. Okay, look students, that I am giving you the idea as well, that before solving the question you have to see that what type of the denominators are there in the fractions and how to take their LCM. This is also one of the important step. 5 2s are 10, 3s are 30, and after writing the LCM, recall that what we have to do, we have to go back to each fraction one by one and see what is the denominator of that fraction and what is LCM. Denominator is 3, but LCM is 30. So, this fraction is deficient of what? What should I multiply by 3 to get 30? 3 how many times is 30? 3 10 times is 30. So, it means that I have to multiply the numerator by 10, and this minus was already in the question. 2a plus b, 2a plus b. Coming to the second part, in the second part the denominator is 2, but the LCM is 30. Now, see that 2 how many times is 30, or this fraction is deficient of what? Or in easy words, whatever is the LCM, we have to divide that LCM by the denominator, and we have to see that what is the quotient coming. That quotient has to be multiplied by the numerator. So, 2 15 times is 30. So, 15, and this 3 was already there in the question, 3 was already there in the question, into a minus 3b. Moving to the last part, in the last part the denominator is 5, but the LCM is 30. So, 5 how many times is 30? Read table of 5. 5 6 times is 30. It means that this third fraction is deficient of 6. So, what we are going to do is we have to multiply this numerator by what? By 6, and 4 was already there. 4 multiplied by a plus 2b. And now, what we have to do is that first of all we have to apply distributive property, that whatever are the numbers outside the bracket, we have to multiply those numbers inside the bracket. Or what we can do is that first here this is the part that we need to simplify. So, better to simplify this first. Minus 10 into 2a plus b, 15 times 3 is 45, a minus 3b minus 24 into a plus 2b. Now, it is the time to apply distributive property, that multiply the number which is outside the bracket with every term inside the bracket. Okay, here the tables have to be strong, and the rules of integers, multiplication rules of integers have to be really strong. Okay. So, if you find any difficulty in understanding the multiplication rules of integers, you can watch my lesson, for which I will be giving the link in the description box. Okay, now, what we have to do is that we have to open the brackets carefully. Be careful, tables have to be really strong. Tables have to be really good and strong, so that you can secure good marks in these questions, and they are also one of the important questions of your O-level examination. 30 minus 20a, 10 times 2 is 20, 20a minus 10b minus 45a, minus minus is positive, and 45 multiplied by 3, 45 multiplied by 3, you can see I am performing the calculation mentally. I am not using calculators. 5 3s are 15, 4 3s are 12, and 113, 135. 135 b, okay, and minus 24a, and now look, when minus sign will be multiplied by positive sign, 24 2 times is 48b. Now again the numerator is having some terms with letter A and some of the terms with letter B. So what we are going to do is that we have to rearrange the numerator by writing the like terms together. What we have to do is, let me write down the fraction here. 30 is the LCM or denominator, minus 20a minus 45a. Okay, let me hold pencil. This is 20a, this is 45a, and this is 24a. All have the negative sign. Be careful about the signs as well. 24a, and this is minus 10b plus 135b minus 48b. Now what we have to do is that we have to add or subtract the like terms depending upon their signs. Okay, this is also one of the important points. 30 is the LCM. Now look, 20, 45 and 24 all have the same sign. So what we are going to do is that we have to add up all these values, 20, 45 and 24. 5 plus 4 is 9, 4 and 2 6 and 2 8, 89 minus 89a, and now what we can do is that first this 135b is positive. So let me write in the beginning 135b, and this is 10 and 48. 10 and 48, they are the like terms, minus 58b. Now look here, for b terms we have two opposite signs and the bigger value has a positive sign. So what we are going to do is that we have to subtract these two numbers and 58. I cannot take away 8 from 5, so I have to take 1 from here. This is 15 minus 8 is 7, 12. I am left with 2 here, then I have to take 1 from here. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 and 7, 14 and 1, 15. Okay, and I will left with what? Minus 89a plus 77b by 30. Now at this stage I have to see, can I extract, can I pull out some number which is common in both. So I don't think so that 89 and 77 comes in the same table. So I hope you are clear about this part, and let's answer of B part may be not matching with the back answer because that answer comes only if we are keeping this last fraction positive. You can give a try on your own. Moving to the next part. Okay, the next part is C part, and let me confirm the data. 3 into f minus h by 4 minus 7 into h plus k by 6 plus 5 into k minus f by 2. Okay, very easy and simple questions. Recall that what is the first thing that we have to check, that we have to observe that what type of denominators do we have. Denominators are like 4 and 6 and 2 composite numbers. 6 and 4 can come in table of 2. So recall that how to take the LCM. In case of the composite numbers, we have to go with the prime factorization. Okay. Basic rules have to be clear, then these questions will not at all be difficult for my students. 2 1s are, 3s are and 2 2s are. So the LCM of this question will be 3 times 2, 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. So what we are going to do is that first of all we have to write down the LCM in the middle of fraction, and then what we have to do is 3 times 2 is 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. Now, what we have to do next, recall that we have to go back to each fraction one by one, and we have to see what is the denominator and what is the LCM of the question, and that fraction is deficient of what, or the denominator of that fraction has to be multiplied by what to get the LCM. Here the table power have to be really strong. 4 how many times is 12? 4 3 times is 12. So, this fraction is deficient of 3, and this one of the 3 was already there in the question. 3 into f minus h minus this second fraction. The denominator of second fraction is 6 and the LCM is 12. So, recall what we have to do. We have to think that this denominator is deficient of what, or we have to multiply 6 by what to get LCM, which is 12. 6 how many times is 12? 2, and this 7 was already there in the question. 7 and h plus k, dot stands for multiplication. My students are familiar with this, h plus k, and moving to the last fraction that has the denominator. What is the denominator? 2, and what to do with that? We have to check that denominator or that fraction is deficient of what to get the LCM, or read the table of 2 till we reach 12. 2 6 times plus 6 into 5 k minus f, 5 k minus f. Now, it is the time to first multiply the numbers which are outside the brackets, so that we can simplify our question easily. Let me draw the fraction here. I am going really slow because these questions are the base for D2 as well. So, that my students should have good command on these all type of questions. 3 times is 9, and this is f minus h, minus 2 times 7 is 14, h plus k, plus 6 times 5 is 30, k minus f. Now, what to do next? Recall my previous questions that we have to apply what? Distributive property, but let me first draw the fraction here, so that I can perform calculations easily. Okay, always present your work in orderly manner. Okay, 9 for the distributive property, whatever is the number outside, we have to multiply that number carefully with every term inside the bracket, and be careful about the rules of integers as well. Okay, okay. Then what we have to do is that 12, I have to write the LCM, 9f minus 9h, 14h with negative sign, and minus 14k plus 30k minus 30f. Here we have the positive sign, and when we are multiplying it with the negative sign, positive sign multiplied by negative sign, or negative sign multiplied by positive sign. Recall this will be, the product will be negative. Okay. Now, we have applied distributive property, and now if we observe the numerator, we can see that the numerator is consisting of some f terms, h and k. There are 3 variables in this question. Okay. Let me see question carefully. Yes, f, h and k. So, we have to write down the like terms of the like variables together, like 9f. f is coming at first place and f is coming at the last place. 9f minus 30f, 9f minus 30f, and then h terms. H terms are by chance written together, minus 9h minus 14h, 9h minus 14h minus 14k plus 30k. And now what we have to do, we have to solve the like terms according to their signs, and we have to apply rules of integers. Okay, like if we look at 9 and 30, which are the f terms. 9 has what sign, students? When there is no sign, when there is no sign, it's hard and fast that there will be positive sign, one positive, one negative. So what we are going to do, we simply have to subtract 9 from 30. 10 minus 9 is 1, 21, and answer will have the sign of the bigger term, minus 21f. Coming to the second part, h terms, both the h terms are having same sign, negative sign. So same sign, we are going to add up the terms. 9 and 4 is 13 and 23, and we are going to place the common sign 23h, and again 30 and 14, which are the k terms, have the opposite signs. Okay, 30 minus 14, I have to take away 14 from 30. 10 minus 4, I cannot subtract 4 from 0. So, I have to take 1 from here. 10 minus 4 is 6, and here I am left with 1. And now look carefully that 30 is the bigger term, it has a positive sign. So, it will be plus 16k. Okay, students, I hope you are really clear about this, especially that how we are solving the like terms, and for the solution of the like terms, we have to keep the rule addition and subtraction of the integers in our mind. Then the question will really be easy for all of us. Moving to the last part, and let me compare the data. Last part says 4 minus x minus y by 3 minus 3 into y plus 4z, 3 into y plus 4z by 4, and the last term is positive, 5 into x plus 3z by 8. Again, first problem is that we have to take the LCM, and we can see that 3 of the terms are written in form of the fraction. 4 we can write in form of the fraction like 4 upon 1, and then we need to take the LCM of 3, 4 and 8. 4 and 8 can come in one table. So, 2, 3 as it is, 2 2s are and 2 4s are, 2, 3, 1 and 2, and now look, 3 2s are 6, 2s are 12, 2s are 24. Okay, 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12, 2s are 24, 24 will be the LCM. And now what we are going to do is that we have to first write down the LCM here. Okay, and after writing the LCM of all parts of the question which are given, what we have to do is 24 is the LCM. We have to go back to each fraction one by one, and we have to see that what is the denominator of that fraction and what is LCM. Okay, and see that denominator is deficient of what, or that denominator has to be multiplied by what to get the LCM. Here the denominator is 1. So, this 4 will be multiplied, student, by what? 24. 24 times 4 times 4, and now this is a minus sign which is already given in the question. Now look, here the denominator is 3, but LCM is 24. 3 how many times is 24? That is 8. So, it means I have to multiply 8 here, x minus y, and now this minus sign will be coming as it is. Moving to the third denominator, that is 4. 4 how many times is 24? 6, and here we are deficient of 6. 6, this was also the deficiency here. 6 will be multiplied by what? 6 multiplied by 3 into y plus 4z plus 8 how many times is 24? That is 3. 3 and multiplied by 5 into x plus 3z. Now, what we are going to do is that we first have to multiply these all numbers. so that we can easily expand the brackets. Okay, let me draw the fraction here. This is 24. 24 times 4 is 96. 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8 and 1 9. You can see that I am multiplying and I am performing most of the calculation without calculator in order to give the idea that we can perform the calculations easily if we have the good command on tables and calculation skills. 6 times 3 or 3 times 6 is 18. Tables have to be really strong. Y plus 4c and plus 3 times 5 is 15, x plus 3z. And now what we are going to do is, but before that let me draw the fraction here. Let me draw fraction here so that I can write LCM and the numerator as well. Okay, 24, 96. Apply distributive property, and what to do for distributive property, that we have to multiply each number outside the bracket carefully inside the bracket, and keeping the rule of the signs of integers in your mind, that will really be affecting our working and solution. Okay, now 96 minus, here we have the positive sign, minus 8x, and minus multiplied by minus, this will become positive 8y minus 18y, 18 times 4. Okay, suppose if I do not know, so what I will be doing, I simply have to multiply the numbers. 8 4s are 32, 4 1s are 4 and 3 which were carry, 4 1s are 4 and 3 7. And now I have to really be careful about the signs as well. Minus 72, 18 4s are 72z plus 15x plus 15 times 3 is 45, 45z. Now it's the time to write down the like terms together. Okay, this time the question is having the constant term as well. And if we look at the question carefully, all parts, rest parts of the numerator, we can see that rest parts of the numerator are not having any constant. So 96 doesn't have any friend. So 96 will be coming as it is. And then let's talk about the x terms. This is minus 8x and 15x. They are the friends. Minus 8x plus 15x and 8y minus 18y, and then minus 72z plus 45z. Write down the like terms together carefully. Do not please start solving. First try to rearrange your numerator, write down the like terms together closer to each other, and then solve the question. Okay, these are the tips that I am giving you so that you can easily get and secure good marks in this topic. 96. Now look, 15 and minus 8. Okay, 15 is big and 8 is small. We will be simply subtracting, and the sign will be of the bigger term. 15 minus 8 is 7x, and again 18 and 8. 8 is positive, 18 is negative. I have to subtract these two numbers, and the sign will be of the sign of the bigger term, and the bigger term is negative, minus 10y, and again 72 and 45, opposite signs, 72 and 45. First let me subtract these two numbers. Okay, I cannot take 5 from 2, so I will be taking 1 from 7. This is 12 minus 5 is 7, and 6 minus 4 is 2. But the problem is that what will be the sign of 27? As 72 is the bigger term, it has a negative sign, so it will be minus 27z. 27z. Now look, 96, 7, 10, and some even, some odd, so we cannot take any number common. So let me write down the answer a little more properly. 96 plus 7x minus 10y minus 27z upon 24. I hope students you are really clear about today's class. For next difficulty level, please catch me in the next class. Watch my lessons, like, share and subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get the notification of every lesson in time. Thank you very much.